BBS. BBS. Blackberg Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television! Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.
REED-BBS. BBS. UFC 300. 300. The greatest card in the history of combat sports, per UFC President DanaWhite. In the main event, we got Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Alex Pereira. My man went from just some kickboxer chasing the last stylebender, Israel Adesanya, across martial arts disciplines to a legit, bona fide MMA striking terror and star. Terror. Are there better, not better, but are there prettier, quicker, are there more artistic, more fluid, more acrobatic and polished strikers than Alex Pereira? Absolutely there are. Israel Adesanya, I just mentioned him. Anderson Silva, John Bones Jones, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Sugar Show. For striking prowess, they all looked the part, and to some, their style of striking may be more preferable or more appealing to the eye than Pereira's. But for hard strikes, every strike, every kick, every punch, whatever, with hurtful, fight-ending intent, Pereira just might be the hardest hitting, hardest delivering all-around striker we've seen, man. Yeah, there's a stiffness. He's seemingly too upright, too rigid, he's borderline robotic, deliberate, whatever word you want to use, mechanical. He's all of that at times. Yet when this motherfucker connects clean, when Alex Pereira connects clean, it's chutch. That's why old boy would just beat Adesanya Strickland. That's why Strickland gets KO'd by Pereira, then brings Pereira into camp to train with him. He's like, fuck that, I gotta work with this guy. It's that George Foreman type of power, where the slightest arm motion, it leads to disastrous effects for opponents. Like Yuri Prochaska, that KO. It was just a simple right, left, wop, wop. And you had to watch that in slow-mo to catch the damaging shots. The right just kind of grazed Prochaska, but the left hook landed, and I mean, it was a wrap. My man pretty much lurched forward into Pereira's lap, and he just ate punches from there. I mean, the shots are there. They're there. Pereira's the first man to win the UFC middleweight and light heavyweight titles. They're all sizable jumps, but yeah, to be the first to do that in the limited amount of fights he's had, that's special. That's special. That's why he's a fucking star. Jamal Hill, former UFC light heavyweight champion. He beat up Glover Teixeira to win the title. Pereira's coach, Glover Teixeira, he beat him up, Hill did, with Pereira watching, no less. But then the motherfucker ruptured his Achilles playing basketball, which brings me, basketball segues perfectly into the fact that, to me, Hill, he kind of looks like Paul Pierce, the retired Boston Celtic great. Paul Pierce, who was known as the Truth. Kind of looks like him a smidge in the face, and he's got a Paul Pierce type of physique. Not fat, but just lacking of definition. There's not really I'm not getting workout vibes, not weightlifting vibes from Hill at all. You know, he ain't just bad built or nothing, but he's certainly not ripped up or chiseled. There's a borderline softness to his body, something Paul Pierce played with in his NBA career. I got Pereira in this one. I don't know much about Hill, being honest, but there's just something about Alex Pereira, man. He's got the it factor, and right now just seems to be his time. Co-main event, we got China versus China. Two Chinese athletes vying for a UFC world title for the first time in history. Zhang Weili versus Zhang Xiaonan, who's with Team Alpha Male. Now that's what I'm talking about. An Asian woman repping Team Alpha Male, that's a sign of progress. People talk about it. there it is. An Asian woman repping Team Alpha Male. That's what's up. That's dope. UFC's version of WWE's hardcore title, the BMF title, the bad motherfucker title, that's up for grabs on UFC 300. And no one embodies the spirit behind the creation of said belt, the purpose of it, than defending champion Justin Gaethje. He's squaring off against Mad Max Holloway, former UFC featherweight champion. Holloway is UFC's all-time leader in landed strikes, male or female, regardless of weight class. This will be a fan-friendly fight because all of Gaethje's fights are, and most of Holloway's are. Holloway fancies himself as the best boxer in UFC. And what we do know is Justin Gaethje gets hit. He's a smarter, more intellectual fighter. He's trying to be anyway these days, but he's still a certified action hero when it boils down to it. Just take him out the plastic box, and when it's nut cutting time, that's who Justin Gaethje is. This card also has Charles Oliveira, former UFC lightweight champion, most submissions in UFC history. He's on the card. We got Bo Nickel, the young wrestling stud, undefeated. Everyone talks about his wrestling, and he just keep knocking motherfuckers out. He ain't even had to showcase wrestling from the fights of his that I've seen. He's opening the pay-per-view portion. We got the aforementioned Yuri Prochaska. He's on the prelims with his Zen Buddhist grab the pebble from the hand, wax on, wax off ass shit. He's got no one has like that true ass martial arts spirit to the degree that Yuri Prochaska does. And I ain't even mentioned his fucking hair. We got Aljamain Sterling. He's on the card. We got Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. I believe Kayla was in PFL. Muscle-bound chick. Olympic pedigree. She's making her foray into the UFC. And who better to test her out, to test drive her, than future UFC Hall of Famer Holly Holm. Cody Garbrandt versus Davison Figueiredo to open the pre-prelims. Cody Garbrandt versus Davison Figueiredo. Yeah. Hell of a card, top to bottom. I'll do a post-fight on any of the prominent fights. Maybe get into a little bit of UFCs like 100 and 200, shit like that. We'll see. REED-BBS. Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Televisión! Fred Sanford of the Fisticuffs. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.